This is the Fantasy Roadshow.
Hey, little roadies, let me whisper in your ear. I got something you might like to hear. We got a mock draft madness number 12. Come on, show that thing, baby.
That was disturbing and hilarious at the same time. Welcome in, everybody, to another Makalaka Ding Dong Mock Draft Madness. Happy Friday to everybody. We are your host, as always. You can call me Truck. You can call him Kulz. You can find me at fantasy_trucker. Find him at Kulz_sports. Check out the show at Fantasy Roadshow. Follow us on YouTube throughout this journey. It's youtube.com/sportsethos. Check out our Substack. All written content will be presented there. Subscribe, like, follow the show. Mike, how you doing? How you doing today, buddy?
Good. I'm doing good.
Yeah, I don't know if you're doing better than me because I have a Selly. I'm cracking open a peach mango green tea. I'm switching it up. I usually get all the vibes.
That one's
I
fire.
usually get all the vibes.
That one's fire.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, man.
It's not carbonated, which is awesome. It's a very, very good flavor.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't had a Selly in probably over a week. It's time for me to break.
What?
Probably time for me to break that streak. Yeah, I've been hitting that. I've been hitting that cold brew coffee protein in the morning. Rule 1 protein. Shout out Tony
healthy,
the unofficial, official protein supplement, protein supplement company of the Fantasy Roadshow. That is Rule 1 Proteins.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Well, you inspired me. I took maybe the last 2 days or 3 days. I haven't had a Celsius, so.
You're back at it, baby.
Back at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna order a case here in a little bit. So
that's awesome.
Need to get back on it.
Yep. Well, everybody, thanks for joining today.
The unofficial official beverage, the Fantasy Roadshow.
Celsius. Yes. So yeah, today we're here. We're doing another mock draft. We're continuing with our Superflex phase. We feel like it's very popular these days. It's kind of the new way to go. If you're starting a new league, definitely go Superflex. It's our ideal league, if I do say so, right, Mike? We prefer Superflex over everything else.
Yeah, I personally do. I forget who. More strategy involved. Quarterbacks is a deeper position now, so it adds that element. You can, there's just more startable quarterbacks, but I'm trying to think of who I was watching the other day that said that their kid, like the new generation, is only super flex, and it's just going more in that direction. And I agree with it.
Yeah, and hopefully PPR follows because PPR is standard. So
I think it is. I don't know anyone that doesn't do PPR. But
exactly.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Truck likes to say, PPR is standard. We need to copyright. We need to trademark that. Put it on a hat for you. We'll get some merch. We'll get some merch eventually. First step was album art, and
now Substack.
Yeah, we're gonna. We need to get on Instagram. I'll do that this afternoon. I'll get an Instagram downloaded.
Watch out! Everybody be on the lookout.
Yeah, because we have album art, so might as well. And then now we can add our Substacks. Things of that nature. So we'll get Instagram. Need to get shorts going as well, but that'll be a in season thing. We're knee deep in draft season right now, cranking it. So yeah, buckle up.
Yep. Mock, yeah. Draft, yeah. Ing, yeah. All right. Kulz, you're drafting from the 105. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And I will be drafting from the 110. So we're trying to split it up and not draft from the same spots over and over again, although our teams tend to look the same regardless because of who we're targeting and who we're fading. So, just make sure you take note of that. And you want to cover anything else before we start this up, or just kick it right off?
It's all about reps, baby. Mock as many times as you can. And that's how he does it.
Yep.
I will say that at the 105, I'm looking for Justin Herbert, and he does fall. So I officially have Herbert over Burrow in my rankings. I have Justin Herbert as my third ranked quarterback. Therefore, I am
Whoa.
taking him above Burrow and Lamar.
Wow. Yeah. The draft started out Jalen Hurts number 1, Mahomes number 2, Josh Allen number 3, Justin Jefferson up at 4, right before Mike's Justin Herbert pick, and then followed by Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Christian McCaffrey, and here I am on the clock in the 10 spot. And it's very similar to what we were looking at in the last draft, where I was drafting from the 9 spot, and I'm going to be taking Justin Fields again, who I think is still an elite quarterback this year, is going to get better. He was, a top 10 last year, and I think he will be a top 10 quarterback again this year, with room to grow. So I'm taking Justin Fields ahead of Trevor Lawrence, Travis Kelce, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, and a super flex.
Beautiful.
And then after Fields goes Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Austin Eckler, and Trevor Lawrence.
Lawrence
Here I am.
falling in the second round.
Yes, that's very interesting. My cats are going insane right now. So anyway, so here I am on the clock, and this is a beautiful pocket. Cooper Kupp, Bijan Robinson, Stephon Diggs, Saquon Barkley, CeeDee Lamb. Like, this pocket is so juicy that I'm tempted to see where I go here. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with my highest ranked wide receiver, and that's going to be Cooper Kupp. And I'm going to pair him up with Justin Fields. I'm taking Cooper Kupp over Diggs, over CeeDee Lamb. And Bijan Robinson is my number 1 running back on the season. However, with this being a 3 wide receiver league, I think it'll bode well for me to grab Cooper Kupp here.
Cooper Kupp.
And I just hope that he gets back to what he once was.
Boom. Stephon Diggs, no brainer. He is my wide receiver number 3. So I get my quarterback 3 and my wide receiver 3. We are off to a hot start.
Yeah, in between, we had after Cooper Kupp won Bijan Robinson, A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, and Deshaun Watson right before he took Diggs. And after Diggs goes CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, Nick Chubb, and Dak Prescott. Mike, who are you considering here, and what do you got?
Amon-Ra. He's at a tier above everyone else for me at wide receiver. There's Mark Andrews, but I take Amon-Ra. He's in that final tier, like tier 2, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, I would say that.
But essentially the top tier. I mean, maybe Waddle's in that tier as well, but Waddle, Olave, and Devonta, and then I guess T are kind of another tier. But I have Amon-Ra in that, like, tier 1B, I guess you can call it.
Yeah, I like it. After Amon-Ra goes Jalen Waddle, Mark Andrews, Tony Pollard, Tua Tagovailoa. And here I am on the clock. Chris Olave, Kirk Cousins, T. Higgins, Devonta Smith, Breece Hall, Ramondre, and I think I'm going to go with Chris Olave here and grab my wide receiver 2. I'm taking Chris Olave ahead of T. Higgins and Devonta Smith.
We just got an update on Sleeper that says Zach Taylor says that Joe Burrow looks as good as he's ever looked right now. So that kind of just
so good to hear.
That confirms my 101 of Jamar Chase.
Yeah, understandable. And we, as a little caveat, Mike and I are in a draft, and we have the 101 currently discussing whether we're taking Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase. I want Jefferson. He wants Chase. We have to find some middle ground somewhere. So that'll be interesting. So, all right. So here I am in the 4th round. I had Fields, Kupp, Olave. And I think I'm going to go with another wide receiver, and I'm going to grab Devonta Smith, who I consider a tier break here. I'm going to go Devonta and see what running backs I can get later on in the draft. After Devonta goes Ramondre Stevenson, Breece Hall, Najee Harris, TJ Hawkinson. Mike, you're on the clock on the 4th round. Who are you looking at?
Let me see. Keenan Allen, Calvin Ridley, Kenneth Walker, Deebo Samuel. I'm looking at Amari Cooper. And that's really what I'm going to do. I have them before in a tier above all of them. There's 3 wide receivers. I'm Cooper above DK. I'm going Cooper.
Yeah, I agree with you there, and that's a nice start. We have a very similar start. We each have a quarterback and 3 wide receivers, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here. After Amari Cooper goes DK Metcalf, Daniel Jones, Geno Smith, Aaron Rodgers. So kind of this a little run on quarterbacks in this 4th round, and then Calvin Ridley, Jones. Keenan Allen, Deebo Samuel, Kenneth Walker. Mike, are you taking Aaron Jones?
I'm taking Aaron Jones. I have him as my running back 13. So I have him 1 spot above Dobbins. So let's go, AJ. Welcome to the squad.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. All right. After Aaron Jones goes Drake London, Anthony Richardson, Jared Goff, DeAndre Hopkins, and I am on the clock here. George Kittle. There's Joe Mixon sitting here, Jerry Jeudy, J.K. Dobbins, and I am most likely know who I'm going to go here, and I will be taking J.K. Dobbins as my RB1 after I started quarterback and 3 wide receivers. After Dobbins goes George Kittle, Joe Mixon, Derek Carr, Terry McLaurin, and I'm back on the clock. And I will be grabbing. In this pocket here, Jerry Jeudy's interesting. DJ Moore is interesting. Since I did go with 3 wide receivers to start, I'm going to grab another running back here and someone who I think is a workhorse on a team that should be better than people think. I'm grabbing Miles Sanders as my RB2 to pair with J.K. Dobbins.
I do want to position, or I do want to make known. So I took Amari Cooper there in the 4th round, and I do have Herbert. So a lot of people may think I should have gone Keenan Allen there. So I just want to say that I have Amari Cooper as my wide receiver 12, and I have Keenan Allen as my wide receiver 22. So for me, there's a pretty big separation between the 2 of those. So that's why I went Amari Cooper.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So right here, I'm looking at DJ Moore. I'm looking at Andre Swift. I'm looking at Cam Akers. I'm going to go Cam Akers here because there is a wide receiver that I like a little bit more than DJ Moore. And I think there's a potential for him to fall to me. So I'm going to kind of play the board here. But I have Cam Akers ahead of DeAndre Swift. Akers for me is a running back 16 and Swift's at 21. So that's kind of where I'm sitting here. And let's see if my wide receiver who is named Brandon Ayuk gets back to me.
It'll be interesting.
Come on, Ayuk. Come on, Ayuk. Fall here, Ayuk.
Hey.
He goes the fucking pick right before me.
Ooh, brutal.
So I am going to go Christian Kirk or Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara I have as my RB22. I'm probably going to end up going him. I do have Kirk as my wide receiver 30. Mike Williams is also an interesting pick here, given my Herbert connection.
Yeah.
So I have Mike Williams as my wide receiver 33. And I have Kirk as 30. So, there, do I go Williams over Kirk? Maybe, but I think I'm going to stick with running back and stack up on some depth here while Alvin Kamara is still floating around there. I am pretty high on Alvin Kamara. I just love, if I can get him in the 7th round and he's only going to miss 3 games, I'm all about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great pick there. Alvin Kamara should be, even with the 3-game suspension, should be a beast over there on the Saints. So after Kamara goes Alexander Madison, Christian Kirk, Russell Wilson, James Conner. I am on the clock here in the 7th round. Bryce Young is here, Dalvin Cook, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Mike Williams, Terry McLaurin. I think I'm going to be grabbing, I'm sorry, not Terry McLaurin, Tyler Lockett. I'm going to grab Rachaad White and beef up another running back here in my tier. And I like wide receivers a little bit later on. So I think I can get some value there. And grabbing Rachaad White. After White goes Lockett, Bryce Young, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Deontay Johnson. I am back on the clock. Mike Williams is interesting here. Could go Jordan Love. Taking a look at other quarterbacks later on. Yeah, I'm going to grab my second quarterback here and someone who I think is going to be a good quarterback this year and pair up with Cooper Kupp. I'm going to grab Matthew Stafford and then fill in some depth at wide receiver, running back in the later rounds.
There goes Mike Williams. I was hoping he would fall. I'm going to go. I'm going to take Hollywood Brown. That's kind of an auto pick for me. Well, we got Mr. Pickens as well.
Yeah. Where do you have them in your rankings?
Rare.
Yeah, I know my cats are going absolutely insane right now.
I got Pickens at wide receiver 27, and I have Hollywood at 29. I did not see Pickens down there when I saw Hollywood, and Pickens is the pick.
Okay. Followed by Ingram, Hollywood Brown, Kadarius Toney, Isaiah Pacheco, Treylon Burks, Quentin Johnston, Freiermuth, and David Montgomery. You're back on the clock in the 9th.
Yeah, I see Mr. Yahan. I see James Cook going best available still. It really comes down to how confident I feel I can add running backs or wide receivers at this point. And, I should probably go Mr. Jahan Dotson.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do that. I'm going to go Dotson.
I like it. Tilting, but made the right selection there, I think. And James Cook is the pick right after you, followed by Gabe Davis, AJ Dillon.
I want to go on record that I wasn't tilting.
It sounded like you were. You were
no, I was
considering going somewhere, and then
I was between 2 players. That's not tilting.
Okay, fair enough. I am looking at
tilting is getting sniped and freaking
Mike, I said
out
fair
and
enough. I said fair enough. You don't need to go into it. Totally fine. I understand. I am on the 9th round here, looking at Antonio Gibson, Brandon Cooks, Charbonneau, Khalil Herbert, and I will be grabbing Brandon Cooks as my wide receiver 4 to get some depth at the position. Followed by Antonio Gibson, Juju Smith-Schuster, Charbonneau, and Njoku. I am back on the clock. And I will be grabbing Khalil Herbert as my RB4. Some nice depth, I think, with Brandon Cooks and Herbert.
I'm looking at Jordan Love being an interesting quarterback too for me. I do think Team 4 would probably go quarterback, and he won't make it to me in the 11th. And I kind of like pairing up Jordan Love there with Aaron Jones. I don't know if I'm going to do it. Let's check out the wide receiver group here. So you got Zay Flowers, you got Elijah Moore. Really like those two guys. Do I go Mr. Jordan Love? I'm going to take Jordan Love here.
Lock in the QB2.
Lock in QB2. I do like Pickett here in a little bit, but I'm taking Jordan Love. I think he's my QB 16. I have him on my sleepers. Give me J Love.
You love a little bit of love, huh?
I do love me some love.
All right, and then goes Kenny Pickett, Damian Harris, Dalton Schultz, Zay Flowers to end the round 10, followed by Samaje Perine, Rashad Bateman, Dalton Kincaid, Okonkwo. Yeah. Is that rough, Mike? Were you looking for Kincaid to fall in the 11th?
Yeah, I didn't expect him to go 2 tight ends, so that hurt. I am going to take Elijah Moore here, though.
That's a great pick.
He was, I mentioned, at wide receiver that I was eyeing, so Elijah Moore's on the squad. I'm 6 deep at wide receiver. Feeling pretty good there.
Yeah, looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. I will be grabbing a tight end here by the name of Greg Dulcich, locking in the Dulcich as my tight end.
Locking in Dolly's situation.
Yep, followed by Odell Beckham Jr., Jamal Williams, Sky Moore, Jerick McKinnon. I would have liked Sky Moore to be there for me at this pick. However, he did get selected 2 picks before me. So now I am back to the well, looking at this lower tier here. There's Elijah Mitchell, my best friend Jacoby Myers.
Your bestie.
Best friends forever. And I think I will be grabbing Darnell Mooney as some wide receiver depth. I think Mooney's going to have a nice role there in Chicago to pair up with Justin Fields.
All right, so I am looking at grabbing a tight end. I guess I should probably take him here just in case. Gerald Everett, but I really want Tank Bigsby as my 4th running back, so I'm actually going to do that. At this point, it's like, is Everett that valuable to me? Yeah, I have Herbert, but there's so many different tight ends that could put up his numbers at this point. And to me, Tank as my 4th running back, there's just more value there.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Then goes Elijah Mitchell, Adam Thielen, Kendre Miller, Tyler Boyd, Gerald Everett at the top of the 13th, followed by Rondell Moore, Deontay Foreman, and Rashee Rice.
So at this point, I'm just punting to the last round for tight end. I'm pretty much streaming one anyways. There's a couple names I like there, so I'm just going to leave that. And I'm going to stack up Romeo Doubs or Nico Collins is the question for me here. I am going to take Nico Collins and stick to my guns. Mr. Nico, welcome to the squaw.
And Romeo Doubs goes directly after, followed by Zeke Elliott.
Well, wouldn't you look at that?
Yeah, I would have thought you wouldn't want Dobbs just in case he has a nice connection with Love and you have that stack there. But I agree with you. I'd probably go Nico over Romeo, regardless of quarterback.
Best ball, I would have went Dobbs. Redraft, I'm going Nico.
Okay, fair enough. Good to know. I am on the clock here. Looking to fill out some depth I do want to take a quarterback here in one of these 2 rounds. However, I think I'm going to wait until the 14th. And the 13th here, I like Singletary. Singletary is very interesting. Jalen Warren, also very interesting at this round. But I'm going to take Jeff Wilson. I think Jeff Wilson, with the recent injury to A-Chain, we don't know how severe it is, but Jeff looks like he should be the guy there in Miami. Huh?
Week to week.
Oh, is that the update? He's week to week. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I would still feel comfortable taking Jeff Wilson here. I think he's going to get a large workload in Miami. So
I like him late.
Then goes Jalen Warren, Devin Singletary, Michael Mayer, Jonathan Mingo. Here I am on the clock. I will be grabbing a quarterback here by the name of C.J. Stroud. And that will complete my draft.
So the tight end I was hoping for does fall. He's catching a lot of steam right now. And I think he's going to have big touchdown numbers, which this late, that's what you're pretty much looking for is, a touchdown dependent streamable tight ends. So I'm going Juwan Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks good. And then to finish the draft, it went Chase Brown, Jerome Ford, Michael Gallup, and KJ Osborne to end the 14th round. Mike, how do you like your team? Are you happy with how it unfolded? Why don't you give me a quick recap here?
Yeah, very happy.
Hey, little roadies, let me whisper in here. I got my mock draft recap right here. I got Justin Herbert with the 105. I got Stephon Diggs at the 208. That's what I'm working with my first 2 picks.
I'm on Ross St. Brown, Amari Cooper to round out my starting wide receivers. Aaron Jones, Akers, 2 guys I love in the middle rounds. They're my top 2 running backs. And then I got Alvin Kamara sitting out the first 3 games. Then he'll be back. That's RB1 potential right there. Pickens, Dotson, Moore, 3 wide receivers I love here in those mid to late rounds to add depth to my wide receiving core. Pickens, Dotson, they're the 2 second-year guys that are really taking off right now. So Jordan Love's a guy who's a sleeper for me. I think he's going to have a great year in Green Bay. And I have his piece, Aaron Jones. That's going to be a huge veteran presence in that offense. Tank Bigsby, his role is pretty solidified. So to get him late in the 12th round, I'm happy about that. Nico Collins could be the top wide receiver for the Houston Texans, who's young and growing. And then Juwan Johnson is catching a ton of steam right now. His ADP is skyrocketing, and he's someone that's looked at to have pretty big touchdown numbers for the Saints, and that is the squaw.
The squad. Yeah, it's nicely done, Mike. I do like your team. It's kind of right in all categories there. Nice depth at wide receiver. Love Eli Moore. That late is great. Dotson and Pickens with massive upside in their year 2s. And then you got some veteran kind of cornerstones. So that's very nicely done. With my team, Justin Fields. I love drafting Justin Fields. I think he's going to have a great season. And then my wide receiver room, the 3 I have are really, really strong in my opinion. Cooper Kupp, Chris Olave, and Devonta Smith. And then my 3 running backs drafted directly after J.K. Dobbins, Miles Sanders, and Rachaad White, all who I think are going to be top 15 guys. And then I grabbed my quarterback 2 with Matthew Stafford to pair with Cooper Kupp. I think they're going to have a bounce back season. And Brandon Cooks, who I think has a good chance of being another 1,000-yard receiver on another team. He's just done it over and over in his career, and Dak is looking to have another bounce back season himself. So Brandon Cooks, I like there. Khalil Herbert, I think, is going to be the RB1 high upside kind of play in Chicago. And then Greg Dulcich, love drafting Greg Dulcich in these drafts. He's going late. And a lock in a strong tight end 1, in my opinion. And then I was able to grab Darnell Mooney, Jeff Wilson, and C.J. Stroud. So very happy with how my team looks and is balanced. Overall, from the 10 spot, I do like it, if I do say so myself.
If I do say so myself.
All right. Well, that about does it. This about wraps it up for another edition of Mock Draft Madness. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. Follow us on all platforms. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to the Substack.
And make sure you wrap it up, roadies, and buckle up.